Do you ever get that vibe that some people weren't expecting you? They may know you. They may have been knowing you for a very long time. They may have thought that they knew you. But for some reason, when you pop up, they're acting like you are a stranger. They don't know you at all, right? This is a very strange instance that has happened to me a few times before, and perhaps it's happened to you as well. So think about a situation to where maybe you're having a phone interview, for example. An employer, a potential employer calls you. You guys have a wonderful phone interview. You know, they like what they hear on the phone and they want to call you in for an in-person conference. And so when you go into this in-person conference, they're startled by you. They're taken aback by you. They weren't quite expecting you specifically. I mean, everything went great though. If they didn't like what they heard on the phone, you wouldn't have been offered an in-person conference. But they called you back. They said, come on in. You went on in, and these people are acting like they don't know you. You weren't the person that they were expecting to walk in that office, to walk in that room. But why? Or think about a situation where people may have invited you to an event. It could be an event that you know a lot of these people at, right? It could be your family, it could be your friends, it could be coworkers, you know them, they know you, right? But then when you're invited, they're acting like they weren't expecting you. They treat you like you're not supposed to be there. They treat you like you're supposed to be, who invited you, even though they invited you, right? And so you start to feel a little bit left out and you start to feel a little bit ostracized and even a little bit rejected because the reception is odd and maybe even cold. But why would this be happening? Why would people be treating you this way? I mean, they wanted you around, right? So why are they acting like they don't know you? Why are they acting like they didn't expect you? It's a very strange situation. I was once invited to an event by somebody who knows me. I know them, right? They were expecting me. They gave me the invite and I obliged. And so when I showed up to this event, the individual did not acknowledge me in the way that I thought that they would. It's very odd to get a reception from somebody you know and who knows you. To get that reception, that cold reception, it's like, what's going on? They're acting like the person they opened the door to isn't the person they were expecting to see. They weren't expecting you. They weren't expecting me. And it's such an odd occurrence. And so you feel kind of weird and self conscious in that moment. In that situation that I'm speaking of, I had to go to the bathroom not too long after to kind of scan myself a little bit to be like, hey, listen, like, is there something wrong with my appearance? Am I coming across as inappropriately? What's going on? Why did I get that type of look? Why did I get that type of reception? They are the ones that invited me. They're the ones that wanted me to come around, right? But then when you come around, they're acting like they don't know you and you shouldn't be there. Like, who are you? They weren't expecting you. It's a very odd situation. And in many different instances, this stuff will keep happening. But why? The answer is why. For the people that know you, it's because somehow they believe that you're going to pull up in a certain type of way. You're going to look in a certain type of way. You're going to show up in a certain type of way. And sometimes people are not fully anticipating the energy that you bring. Sometimes it is you and only you that shifts the energy of that event, of that job interview. You kind of shift it. You make things a little bit uncomfortable inadvertently. It happens. It happens because why else would people who are so enthusiastic about your arrival would then all of a sudden start treating you like an invalid when you pull up? What's the problem now? Right? I believe it comes down to the spirit, as it does in so many instances, like people not expecting to feel the way they feel when you pull up. They weren't expecting to feel this way, right? And we are going to think it has to do with looks. Do I look bad? Do I look weird? Am I looking crazy out here? Looks have nothing to do with that. Rest assured, looks is the last piece of it. When it comes to someone's bright spirit, the spirit prevails. And this is why. To the person who hired you over the phone, they said, hey, come on in. Let's do an in-person conference or something of that nature. When these people see you come in person, they weren't expecting your type, your kind. What is your type? What is your kind? We're not talking about skin color. We're not talking about race. We're not talking about man or woman. We're not talking about none of that. We're talking about the spirit. The spirit, all right? They weren't expecting you. You know what I mean? They weren't expecting you to be that person. Maybe they had a different image in their mind, right? We may think they're thinking about something superficial. I think they're thinking about something that's beyond, comprehension sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to comprehend one's bright spirit. All right. So that's just something, my little viewpoint on this idea of people just not expecting you. They weren't expecting you. Sometimes you got to show up for yourself. You know what I mean? Never leave yourself out, high and dry. Never sleep on yourself. Don't leave yourself stranded. Okay, everybody? Stay up.